Yes, I believe so. I need to do these in uh, more subsequent. Is that the right word? Wait, that is such a wordy word, and not the one I was looking for, but sure. What was I? Oh no! Hello, everybody. My name's Ostentatious24, and welcome back to Higurashi. I need to do these more consecutively. That's the actual word I was looking for, but I think subsequent's a word, and that works too. Sure, I guess. Brain. Ugh, all sorts of weirdness. Um, damn it! I had something else, and then that threw me off. I had two things. Well, first and foremost, those House and Fata Morgana fans can suck it. It got pushed back. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Uh, I don't know if anyone's watches both series or not, but it's gonna come out the day after this one. I just pushed it back because of various other things. Partially, admittedly, laziness. Kinda, sorta. It's kinda my fault, kinda not. I've been sleep depriving myself again, working on other projects. So I was like, oh, I just want to sleep, man. So, I don't remember the other thing. Hold on, I'm checking the recording. Okay, there we go. That'll be something I'll have to mess around with editing later. Keep me on my toes, at least. I don't remember what it was. Crap. I don't know. If I think of it, I'll say it, I guess. Does this mean he likes Higurashi more? Well, that's not what I was gonna say. It just popped into my head. Yes, I do! Ha ha ha! No, I'm kidding. I mean, at the moment I am enjoying this story more so, but at the same time I think that's because I just hate where the current arc is at in the House of Fata Morgana because it's hitting close to home a little bit. In some areas, big douchey dude Jacopo, but at the same time it really got interesting the last the last episode. Not to spoil stuff. Go check it out if you're curious. But I just wanted to keep the pattern of this one going because it's Thursday when this will go up. So I just wanted to keep that going, even though I had to push the House and Fata Morgana back. I still want to keep my patterns as best as I can. So that's why I decided to do this before this week. Damn it! I really want to remember what I was trying to say. Ah. What was it? I don't know. Oh well, I shouldn't waste time. Wait. That triggered something. I don't want to waste time. I don't know. Maybe? Something. That triggered something. Some sort of memory thing just jiggled around. The math and the numbers, the letters are all flying across my face. Brain war. No. Oh, there we go. That surprisingly worked. Okay. Part of the reason I don't do these consecutively, or I don't do visual novels in the same day, is because the visual novels compared to my other series kind of strain my vocal cords. Not to a massive degree outside of a couple episodes here and there. But I would love to record these back to back. It's just I want to give my vocal cords a break and then I'm not like do at least one visual novel a day. Otherwise, I'd record like 10 episodes if I could in one take in one session. But that also begs the question of, especially if you heard the last time, I think we're coming close to the end of this. We're on chapter 9. What did I say last time? There were 12 chapters. Without looking up spoilers, I didn't see any spoilers, but there was apparently 12 chapters, I think I said, and we are currently starting chapter 10. So I don't know. And then the Steam page also said that the 12th chapter was really long. So I don't know how to break these up into episodes, if I'm going to read them consecutively or not. I think for, at the very least, chapter 10 and 11, I'll probably do them 2 episodes like I've been doing per chapter. So hopefully we get through like half of this chapter-ish, which means I really need to get going, this episode, and then the second half of chapter 10, the next episode. But it sounds like we're getting close to the end. I probably won't jump into the next game. I have up to either 6 or 7 bought, and I probably won't jump right into the game. One, because I want to give other visual novels a chance and record them, especially ones I'm in the middle of, like She's a Mermaid and various others, Shuffle. And then I also want to start others, possibly. I don't know if I want to say it. I was gonna release a voting video back in February, but I was just too swamped in so many other things I was making, and then the Valentine's Day things, and then that was supposed to be a Valentine's video, but now it's not February anymore, and it doesn't seem like people like my voting things anyways, but I thought maybe that one, because of one game in particular, would get people curious and wanting to vote and stuff. I guess I can say I had 4 games planned, like the last Valentine's voting one. I don't remember the other 3 off the top of my head. Oh, I think one was, which I, on my personal run, am halfway through. I think I mentioned that before. If My Heart Had Wings. I finished the game. It was so long. I thought I finished the game, and then it's like, end of, I'm like, wait, what? Whoa, how much game is left? And then it appears I'm only like halfway through. I'm like, oh my god, this is a long visual novel. So that was one of them. And I guess I'll say this, one of the other ones I had in mind being Danganronpa. I'll probably only share that in this. Not to play favoritism. Sorry if you're here for both the House of Fata Morgana and Higurashi playthroughs. Just, I guess, go into the comments. Or keep it a secret. Maybe I'll still get around to doing that at some point. Voting thing. But yeah, I was thinking of picking up Danganronpa and playing through the first game. We'll see. Either I'll pick it up at some point this year, or it'll have to wait till next February 2026. We'll see. I guess that begs the question of how people want to see me handle the rest of Higurashi, and how soon you want to see the second game, which I believe it's called, I don't know the name, like this one's Onikakushi, right? Chapter 2, I mean, even though they each have chapters within them, it's all confusing. Just call it Story 2, Book 2? Book 2, there we go, we'll go with that. Game 2 is Book 2. That makes more sense. Depending on how much people want to see me just jump right into the next game, I'll do it sooner rather than later. Otherwise, I'm thinking maybe, kind of like with this one, I'll probably start the second one in October, because of Halloween, spooky, scary stuff. So, let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below, and if you want to, and how you want to see me structure the last 3 chapters of this game. So, all that said, not gonna waste any more time, especially because this probably is irrelevant to people that are seeing it like years in the future, newer subscribers that came across and they're like, oh, what's this game? I don't know. I'm gonna try to talk. Okay, now I'm repeating myself. I've said that in previous episodes. Let's just get the ball rolling. I should look at the clock first. About half an hour. This clock's wrong by an hour, so it's okay. So let's begin. Tap tap tap. Tap 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 up. Tap 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 on my controller. Now I'm starting to space out. Okay then. Whew. The sound of muffled footsteps stopped in front of the door to my room. Moment of silence, as if whomever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, but my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with the danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... You're having an out-of-body experience? Sound like someone punched him. Sleep paralysis demons hitting people now! Sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Oh, okay. Have any of you had sleep paralysis demons? I had it happen once. It was while I was... When was that? I don't remember when that was. It's a few years back. I remember being at my dad's house. In my room there. I remember... Either I woke up... Like I hadn't... Either I hadn't completely fallen asleep... And I was like my body was asleep, but my eyes were still open. Or I had fallen asleep and I'd woken back up, but I couldn't move. I couldn't move in either case. And there's just this blobby thing floating around the room with a one eyeball. It was like a, what are they, Tektites from Zelda, I guess? Kinda, sorta. But it was also kind of goopy looking. It was just floating around in the air like a little shadow squiddy thing with one eyeball. I just sat there watching. It didn't do anything. It was just floating around by its own business. It was doing a bunch of random little figure eights and ups and downs and all arounds and all sorts of stuff. And then I finally managed to say hello, and then poof, it was just gone like that. It was weird. That's the only time I've ever had that experience. So I was like, okay, sure. And then I actually fell asleep, I think, after that. Or maybe, that had to have been a while ago because I can't remember the before and after effects. I just remember that image in a pitch black room. My eyes could ascertain stuff because they were adjusted. My eyes have always been good at adjusting to the dark. But yeah, anyways. What kind of sleep paralysis demons have you had? Be curious to hear stories about that. I'm sorry if you had a lot more violent ones. Have you had any sexy ones? I don't know. I'm remembering I don't know if it was a YouTube video or what, just this. Or maybe it was a game? It was a cute, shadowy girl. Oh, it was kind of like Hisako from The Ring. No, not Hisako. That's from Killer Instinct. Sadako. But, I don't know. It was weird. Anyways. Sorry for that whole tangent. I was curious about people's experiences. Whoa! Kaiichi! What's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m. But the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. Not here yet, but probably by the time I finish this recording. It's late again. Ugh. Felt nothing like morning. Yesterday I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. Damn. Wish I could get that much sleep. Hold it? We don't really have an age of him, do we? Mion's 17 or 18, I believe. And then he's younger by a year or two, right? From what we've learned by their school grades, but obviously they share a classroom because it's such a small school and village and all that, so various grades in one classroom. Just trying to figure that out because at different intervals throughout your life you sleep. You need a certain amount of sleep versus other times. Obviously, when you're younger, you need more hours of sleep. I think, I don't know, was it 14? 14 to 16 is when you start transitioning from needing like 9 to 8 hours. And then the average adult human is 8 hours. But again, that's average, not everyone. That depends on the person. Some people do need more sleep, some can survive on less, but at the same time, those that survive on like 4 to 6 hours of sleep, they tend to nap more throughout the day, you know? My dad's kind of that way. He gets like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Then he's off to work, and when he gets home, he'd sleep in his couch or chair or whatever. It's been a while since I visited him. I should probably do that soon. Anyways, me, I usually try to get 8 hours. Lately, with my sleep deprivation, I've been getting 5 to 6 hours, and then I end up napping, and then that's creates a mess of problems because then I'm throwing my schedule off 60 different ways. On a good day, I get 10 hours, I guess. But at the same time, some days when you oversleep, then you're even more tired than before. Just like if you didn't get any sleep. I keep getting distracted. Sorry about that. But it didn't feel like that at all. See? Yeah. My internal clock was completely screwed up. Well, I can relate. And my sense of balance fell off. Well, yeah. Especially when you get migraines. It's just all sorts of... Felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was still not well. Well, I'm not surprised by that. Another day from home, eh, Kaiichi?
Well, Kaiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school?
I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I was still plagued with terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it had pierced my tongue? Deja vu. Did I have a dream about something like that recently? Like, I know that happened in the story the last time, but... Did I have within the past... That was weird. I just had a weird bout of deja vu. That's even more scary. A lot of my dreams, not to get all weird and psychedelic or whatever. Up to you to decide whether. But I've had dreams that have actually come true. Like, the more vivid a dream that I've had, if it's like kind of out there, it's kind of fueled ideas for one of my many stories that I've tried writing, but I'm a terrible writer, so they're not actual things yet. Hopefully someday I can make them into stuff. Or if it's more realistic, then I'm trying to remember one instance specifically. There was one very vivid one that I remember actually happening like several years later. That was a few years ago that happened. And I was like, oh my god, I could see the future. It was wigging me out real bad. It was, I don't know. I'm not a complete believer in stuff like that, but it was weird. Oh, dang it! Another tangent. Sorry about that. Anyways, my brain's all over the place tonight. But I don't think that's entirely a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to do it. Yeah. It's definitely a tactic to scare, but at the same time, if you happen to die from it, then it's no skin off their bones. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Cause like, hold on, I'm gonna check the recording. It just blipped in my headphones. Whoops. Ooh, oh, stop! Okay, I've wasted a lot of time already. It's 20 minutes. Seems to be working. That was weird. Because you could bleed to death, I'm sure. It wouldn't be fun to lose your tongue. Wouldn't resort to such dubious methods as having me swallow a needle. Yeah, I think that's the one I didn't read, maybe. Meaning I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Reina and Mion. Aren't you glad you didn't die? But next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this.
Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine?
Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill.
It'll be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up. On up. They say wellness is a state of mind.
I heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than everyone.
Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Reina-chan comes and gets you.
Start screaming, no! Oh, yeah, no! Then maybe she'll let you stay home from school. I mean, what would I do in that situation? If my kids seemed totally not in the right state of mind, if it was noticeable, I'd probably be like, alright, I guess you can, but there's no pulling fast ones. You better be dying tomorrow, no skipping 3 days in a row. I'm still meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day.
By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Kaiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry.
I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it. She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. But Mion said as she left yesterday, I hate it if you miss school tomorrow. Wait. Okay, maybe, yeah, he should go to school. Came back and dwelled in the back of my head. What'd she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She will say, don't be upset. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oishi-san enticing me with something unusual. Me, if I didn't want my mouth or did anything different from the norm, didn't watch my mouth. If I didn't want my mouth, I completely misread that. Woo! However, in fact, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So, if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living on like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could. I swallowed hard. once again deliberate on the idea that I had just rejected. Mian was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rule of theirs, a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? But Mian had given me another chance. She was saying if I just forgot everything and kept living on like I had been, I'd be forgiven.
Kaiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Rena will be here if you don't hurry.
Oh, I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. Sorry if I sound a little muffled. I just realized I had my hand on my little bottom lip in my thinking pose. Picked at my somewhat bland breakfast. Seemed I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Reina. Given yesterday's event, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I need to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that had happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Reina. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. Ding dong bang bong, I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Reina had arrived. Mom hurried me along.
Come on, Reina-chan's already here. Hurry, hurry.
My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Honestly, I was so reluctant to see Reina, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. Reina on the other side. Was it the Reina I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Wait, was that a bug that came? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I better have been a bug. Rita just flashed the screen. Okay.
Morning.
An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway.
I came since Kaiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today, I wonder? I wonder.
The manner in which Reina was concerned was, without a doubt, the Reina I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday. Pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their deaths. And the terminal illness and suicide and the lynching and the disappearances and the elephants. What? Forget it! Forget it all! All of it. Forget that Reina and Mion were scary. Of course, forget all of it. Forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget all about the Mochi, too. Forget. Reina once again asked to make sure.
Can you make it to school?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Great.
Wait, no, whoops.
Great. Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting.
No, both of them. Reina showered me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. There's deceit. There's deceit! I don't trust either of them. No. Although, wait a minute. That is a curious question I just thought of. I mean, would Kaiichi still get away with everything if... Because Oyashiro-sama only kills once a year and then 2 people. 1 death and then the disappearance. So, would Kaiichi still be okay until the following year? Do they have to adhere? Does Oyashiro have to follow his, her, she, we, wumbo, its pattern? I think Oyashiro... Have they addressed it as a masculine god? I don't know. But does it have to... Is he... That's a curious question. Or could Reina and Mion on their way to school just knock him upside the back of the head with hammer, pickaxe, shovel or something, and then toss him into the river? Ooh. Anyways, my nervousness dissipated, giving way to relief. Here it comes. The music stopped. Okay. It's just the cicadas. But you see, Satoko-chan...
But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it.
As we were walking, Reina talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. Then...
Satoko-chan is clumsy, so she failed no matter how many times she tried. Oh, she was so cute.
Everything Reina talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. Don't let down your guard, Kaiichi. Until we get to school and everything should be fine then. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us.
Oh my, Kaiichi-chan. Reina-chan, aren't you too bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead. Uh-oh, did Mii-chan look mad, I wonder? We need to hurry up, Kaiichi-kun.
As we smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back towards me and stuck out a tongue. Where? Why? That's weird, but okay. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile. Everything suspicious, I don't trust anyone, anything. Not even that little dog over there. I'm watching you.
Kaiichi-kun smiled.
Oh, why? Reina stopped and stared at me.
I was thinking that you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Kaiichi-kun. But now you seem fine.
With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile.
See, Kaiichi.
Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, there's no quotation. Hey, Kaiichi Maibara, how can you still doubt Reina after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today. And I imagined everything that I thought would happen because I was bedridden and delirious. I really hope that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing that I'd wish for. I would want what had happened in the past few days. More specifically, from the night of the West Nagashi up until last night. Ugh. I want all of that to have never happened. Wonder how many times I'd wish for these past few days. As long as Reina kept on smiling like this, I think it might just become reality. So I wanted Reina to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling.
So, Kaiichi-kun.
Yeah. I was expecting her face to change, but it hasn't.
Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all?
That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxing morning mood suddenly became frigid. Reina's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi
yesterday, did you eat them all?
Of course, she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Reina was asking, did you get the message? Did you get the message, see? She was probably trying to convey that.
Kaiichi-kun.
I was reluctant to give an answer. Reina stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Ah! Don't hesitate, Kaiichi Maibara. Reina was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. But both my throat and mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Kaiichi! Throw it now, damn it! Not that much time had passed. I would still keep the conversation going naturally. I need to say something quickly. Duh. Reina playfully mimicked what I said when I finally squeaked something out. Reina's reaction was still normal. Seems that there wasn't so long of a pause as I had thought. So now I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious! Delicious! However, my strain neither slowly nor brightened Raina's expression. For a moment I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Raina broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well.
I see.
Even the cicadas have stopped.
So did you eat all of them, I wonder? I wonder.
My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? See, if I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't be here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it.
What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rena made?
That homework, was it due today?
Yeah, it's due today. Me too, I'll get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for
Hey, oh no! No, 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 no! Oh no! Oh no, 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 oh no, 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 no. Oh, I don't want to know what penalty game she has in mind this time. We both laughed at each other again. To casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then even I'd think it was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Rena. Eyes! I recalled that unexpected piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rena's mouth. Oh.
Eyes!
The moment that... that one hurt a little. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Reina? No, that was wrong. That was still Reina. Ushi-san told me, didn't he? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away. Oh, wait. Actually, I looked into her, even though it's a flashback. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all the windows. Reina had a disorder that normal people didn't. Oh, the cicadas sound off. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact would not change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If it was the same sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all the windows all throughout her school. So just imagine going through your own school, breaking the windows with a bat. Jesus! That got me a little bit. Swinging full force at each pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards. Your classmates are ghost! Unable to move from the sudden turn of events. Wonder where she could have found the most windows lined up in her... That's an interesting question, okay. Probably the hallway. Well, yeah. Smash, walk, wind up, smash! Walk, wind up, smash, smash! It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying... Oh, Jesus, look at her staring between the words. The horrifying image with the Reina smiling at me right now. But I just had to imagine it. Impossible because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. The unpleasant piercing sound of shattered glass, the crunching noise as Reina treads across the broken shards, walking towards me. Reina's classmates going pale as they forget to even breathe. I wonder what they did as Reina came closer, breaking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try to bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Or did they just run to the staff room after being directed there by the teachers? Probably none of those. In the face of the blood-curdling sight of Reina bursting window after window, Undoubtedly, all they could do was silently clear a path for her. Dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Reina to continue. It is far too violent an act for them to seek refuge by looking the other way. That's not to say they were looking the other way. They were doing the only thing they could to protect themselves. If they had done something differently from the rest, they may have suddenly found themselves as Reina's new target. What would Reina have done to whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious. She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Eaten their hearts right out of their chest like a wild animal. I would be the next window. Rain is staring into my eyes, shards of glass crunching and crackling underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes. Paralyzed! Jesus. Oh, do I click? Okay. Then Raina struck me with the bat over and over again, like I was one of those windows. I crouched down onto the floor, desperately protecting my head. Raina didn't care whether it was my head or my back. Zealously, she hits me again and again. Is he... Wait, why is he... What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent. It was completely unnerving. Because no matter how many times she struck me, I didn't make as pleasant a sound as the other windows. What's happening right now? She struck me continuously, over and over again. The sound Reina wanted didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't try to stop her. They didn't want to be the next window. Was he there? This is getting a little too... Is he seeing the future? Is he a psychic? The past? Seeing the past? Reading minds? Somebody save me! Turn a blind eye unless we're hanging out. But of course, everyone in the class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They'd gain nothing from saving cram school tryhard like me. What the hell? Eventually there would be a faint sound similar to when you crack open a walnut and some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Anyway, it wasn't that Reina momentarily lost herself in her anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming down my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san told me. From the counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Reina-san. It shows up, and quite a bit of that. What does? She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. Following that, Reina was suspended and had regular examinations at the hospital. Then, as Reina was undergoing counseling, she said it over and over. Oyashiro-sama.
Oyashiro-sama. So cute.
It seems that Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night, standing over her pillow looking down at her. That was only a piece of their conversation, so I still couldn't see the big picture, but it was by no means a happy little conversation. Then what Reina did was she saved that ghastly incident was a result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama. Up until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths every year happened because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked with Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were the work of men and not of some curse. Except, if it was people perpetrating the incidents, my friends were somehow deeply connected. If I refused to believe that the curse was real, then I would have to believe those who acted the kindest to me were deeply involved in the incidents. Why? How? Who? When? Wait, we know who. For what reason? Was Reina? Was everybody? It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro's curse. In the aftermath, Reina had admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. It wasn't a second side to Reina. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. I'm gonna look something up quick. If my phone's gonna work. It wasn't Reina's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. Exorcist. Mental disorder. Can't buy. The idea that demonic possessions cause of used to justify accident. What is the number one most diagnosed mental disorder? Probably ADHD or ADD, right? Anxiety disorders. Well, that makes sense too. Where? Exorcisms and psychology. Are demonic possessions just mental illnesses? I don't know. I was just curious to see if there was any mental disorder specifically tied to exorcisms or not. Possession. That was the word I should have used. Why did I keep thinking exorcism? Exorcism's the begone, demon, begone, the getting rid of the spirit. I was just curious if there was a scientific, psychological reason for or disorder connected and tied to that. I'm not saying I believe one way or the other. That sort of stuff. I'm open to anything. Anything is possible. Oh, it wasn't Reina's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew. This was all backwards. I was just curious to see if maybe... I don't remember the disorder that they said Reina had, but it didn't seem to fit right. So then I was thinking just now that could it maybe be tied to exorcism, possession, all that stuff? Or is there another disorder that's kind of associated with that stuff? Maybe? I don't know. Because obviously, whether you believe that kind of stuff or not, I'm sure there's fakes, and then I don't know. I guess you could say there's possibly real cases of it happening, but I'm sure there's a lot of fake cases, and then it is just someone with some sort of mental disorder. I don't think it'd be. Would it be schizophrenia? I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I knew this was all backwards. Refusing to believe there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now that my close friends were the ones under suspicion, I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame. Which was the better choice? Accepting that Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Reina and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths. I didn't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, be able to continue the same as always. I wanted to believe that. But that was no longer possible. I had received their message. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of my opponent being a human or a curse, I won't let it kill me, as if I would just bend over and give in. For no good reason at all. I just had a curious thought. I mean, obviously he's not gonna die by the end of the story, right? Because there's sequels. But then is it possible there's branching paths? And do the sequels figure into that somehow? I know a few visual novels that kind of adhere to that, sort of. Like, Clannad has 3 sequels, I believe, 2 or 3, which are kind of continuations of whichever route you chose. Shuffle, I think, is the same way, and then there's one other I can't think of but it's at the tip of my tongue. So I'm curious as to if that's a thing. Will my choices matter or not? At this point, I don't think so. It doesn't seem like it, at least. And again, I don't know if reading those one things between the chapters, tips, that's the simple word that my brain couldn't think of right away. I'm not sure if the tips somehow figure into that or not. I don't know. If I would just bend over and give it, no for no grease at all. Blah, blah, blah. Just bend over and give it. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I read that, so I kind of sped through that.
Kaiji-kun, you've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder.
Inhaling sharply upon hearing Reina's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I had realized it, we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times as I exercised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Reina could have done such terrible things. It's like I was trying to placate myself. Would have been even more... Jesus. Spring sound, okay. It would have been more terrifying if her... kind of like how I had flashed her earlier, that was probably a bug, but it would have been even more creepy if she had the possessed look on her face, especially at this moment. Oh, we're entering the classroom. Wait, what was that flash? Oh, God, no. Oh, no. As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped down on my head the moment I stepped into the classroom. Ha! What a cliche joke, and he fell for it. Stop it! Spacing out again. Just thinking about Naruto because that happened to Kakashi. The chalk dust went into my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony.
I'll be feeling for the truant, Kaiichi-san. Good morning to both of you, Kaiichi and Reina. Good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan.
Not quite in the mood for it, I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently.
What is this? How discouraging indeed. Kaiichi doesn't seem back to his usual self yet. Yeah, take it easy on him for today, Kay.
Suddenly there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt a bit! Mion? Yeah, okay. She doesn't have a scary face yet, though.
Hi, Kaiten. Did you get enough rest?
It was Mion. My mind was full with stuff about Reina, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Kaiichi, that hawkish gaze from yesterday? Yeah. Morning!
What's with that energetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I brought you?
Because I ate them, I'm like this. Those words were itching to be blurted out. I really just didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over.
What about the homework? Do you have an answer for which one was Reina's? I can't believe you forgot. You'd forget your homework, Kaiichi-kun. Ah! Jeez, then we can't help it. Time for your penalty.
Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. There's nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. Just say yes. Well, I mean, he had a guess, but I don't know. Was it the one with the needles, or did all of them have needles? I can't remember if all of them had needles or not. But he could tell one of them was specifically different, more round or something. I don't know. Nothing from our exchanges that would cause our suspicion. But of course, anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. That was why it was so frightening. They acted in a way that, regardless of whatever happened to Kaiichi Maibara, no one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another dull, ordinary day began. The only problem with, I guess, answering that is, like, how do you specifically state which one was different because they all look the same, right? It's like, because you could say the one that was more round. I don't know what you want from me. One of them was more round than the others. Higurashi when they cry. Is it an intermission? Should I stop recording now? Oh, it is getting close. I don't want it to be too long. But I spent so much time talking. And I don't know how if people like the longer ones or not. I think I'll end it here. But, I'll leave your thoughts in the comments concerning this, I guess. I guess it kind of in tandem with my question earlier. I don't know how much is left of this chapter, so I'll plan on making the next episode finish up chapter 10. But if people want me to take a little more breathing, little more intervals, let me know in the comments, I guess. But that is... Whoops, wrong thing. Blech. But that is probably going to be all for now. So we'll pick it up next time, maybe finish up chapter 10. At the same time, I guess it does depend on how long it is. Like if it's over an hour, then I'm like, yeah, I probably should just cut it here. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, I guess. Return to the main menu. Yes, exit the scenario. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and or evening. Sorry I kept getting distracted and kept talking about stuff at the beginning again, all that stuff. I don't mean to. I say that every time. I mean it every time. I really, truly don't mean to. It just happens. That's just how my brain is, and it's stupid. It sucks. I hate it. So... Okay, again, I'm gonna have to repeat my goodbyes. Have another lovely day and or evening. Have two on me, I guess. And until next time, whatever it is I may do, I hope to see you then. Farewell.